Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Grow Your Instagram Presence. My name is Michelle Eisenberg, and I am a program assistant at the Nasdaq Entrepreneurial Center. And for those of you who may not know, the Nasdaq Center is a nonprofit that's building a better path for entrepreneurs worldwide by improving inclusion, access, and knowledge in entrepreneurship. So as you will see in the chat in a moment, the Nasdaq Center provides programs, resources, and exceptional mentorship to entrepreneurs across all races, industries, and geographies. So definitely make sure to check out those links and resources in the chat. And then just a couple of housekeeping items before we get started. First, let us know where you're dialing in from in the chat. And second, we're going to open up for a live Q&A at the end of the event. So please make sure to submit your questions for us in the Q&A function at the bottom of your screen throughout the presentation, and we will try our best to get to all of them. Awesome. Texas, Florida, New Jersey, Georgia, Alabama, California, Toronto. Welcome, welcome, everyone. UK, thank you for dialing in. Awesome. All right. And of course, none of what we do could be possible at the center without all of the amazing support from our sponsors, including Nasdaq, Lehigh University, Bank of the West, Airbnb, KPMG, Wilson Sonsini, Woodruff Sawyer, Microsoft Entrepreneurship for Positive Impact, BPM, and HubSpot for Startups. We are humbled by their contributions and hope you are grateful too. And so before we get started, we always like to launch a couple polls and see how everyone is doing today. So this first one is going to ask, how are you feeling? Fearful, anxious, surviving, or optimistic? I'll give everyone a couple moments to submit a response here. Thank you for participating. All right, I'm going to end this poll and share the results. Looks like optimism is in the lead. Always very nice to see. Definitely have some feelings of anxiety and surviving. So I'm very confident our conversation today will help out with maybe some of those feelings. I'm going to stop sharing this and launch the second poll. What is keeping you up at night? Give everyone a few more moments to think about it, submit an answer here. One tells us a little bit about your current entrepreneurial needs. Awesome. Thank you all for participating. All right, I'm going to end this poll and share these results. Like marketing is in the lead, finance and sales close behind. Awesome. We will take all of this into account. Marketing in the lead, very fitting for our session today. So I'm going to stop sharing this poll, and without any further delay, please join me in giving the warmest welcome to our special guest, Valentina Escobar-Gonzalez, founder of Beyond Engagement. Valentina, thank you so much for joining us. We are so excited to have you here today.
Hi, everyone. I'm so thankful and grateful that you are here with me today. And it's funny, all those emotions is how I felt all throughout today. So I'm so excited. I'm so excited to be here with you all. And it's so funny. The second poll question, you're going to get a little bit of sales today because I am a salesperson at heart. So let's get started here. I'm going to turn off my video to not distract you all from my presence and really focus, if you want, to magnify the slides here a little bit more. So definitely let me turn off my video and let's get started. I'm going to share my screen. Give me a second here. And then let's get going here today. So again, I am so grateful that you are here today, and let's get started. This is the most funniest slide I could come up with. Who can relate to this? This is the truth about Instagram. This is it can't get more real than this about how life is on Instagram, what we put out there. So if you think this is funny, let me know in the chat box there. If you agree with this, I'm definitely a cookie monster. So actually I have one next to me. So that's what I really did have is cookies. So why we're here today? We're not here to do anything but learn about business, learn about how we can manage our Instagram business page, and maybe learn a couple of things. So one thing I want to know, I always think about the person that is multitasking. I love you. So if you have me in the background, I'm going to be reading some of these stats that I'm sharing right now. Instagram has over 2 billion, that is with a B, monthly active users. Instagram has about 700 to 800 million daily active users. And guess what? This is the one that I need to read out loud. It has 58 times more engagement per follower than Facebook. So we're going to cover a lot of territory here today. I'm from Miami, so I talk loud and fast and I get really passionate, and I'll probably be sweating by the end of this presentation, but we're going to talk about content. We're going to talk about persuasive content, hashtag stories, analytics, reels. We're going to get really, really deep here with Instagram. So first things first, I've been doing this for 11 years. I've been in business for 11 years. I can't tell you how many times I've done speaking engagements, and I tell everyone, we're going to learn so much, but the first things first, let's talk about that bio. Let's look at your bio and let's identify what can we say in our bio that really makes us stand out. So this is my Instagram bio, and I talk about how I'm a caring marketer. I talk about my minority-owned business. I have my link tree. So let me point out something that's very, very big in here. You only have one opportunity here on Instagram to put a link, and it's in your bio. So make sure you have a good link, whether it's your landing page, your home page. I have a thing called Linktree, so it's linktr.ee, and I have multiple facets of my business, and I have a side hustle, and I blog, and I do a lot of things. So it's one link, and I have the free version, but it's one link that directs people to multiple things that I do. So I wanted to talk about Linktree, but one activity, and this is something that's going to be super important. Only we. One of my favorite people, he just spoke to you all not that long ago, is Mark Schaefer. He's written 10 best-selling books. And one activity that I know he's known for is this activity. Only we. What is it that you do that makes you stand out from everyone else? What is it about your business? What is it that you're doing? Maybe there's a corporate professional here that has a side hustle or is beginning to launch a side hustle. What is it that you do that stands out from everyone else that's doing the same thing? I really want you to write the first thing that comes to mind. I do a lot of speaking engagements and networking events, and you have to say something. And most of these events, you have to have like a 1-minute pitch. And what is that 1 minute elevator pitch that you can share with someone? Maybe you want to put it in the chat box. We're here to help each other. When I've done these speaking engagements, most of the time people come to see what other people are struggling with. So feel free, put it out there. We're here to help each other. So I wanted to get that activity out of the way. So back to the bio here. So my Facebook, my Instagram is connected to my Facebook business page. So this is, again, back in the bio area. I have my picture. I talk about what I do. I have my address, my mailing address, as a matter of fact. And then in the middle arrow here is my stories. We're going to talk about stories. I can archive and save the stories because stories last only 24 hours, but you can pre-purpose them and save them in these little circle right here called the highlights. And then another thing that a lot of people don't think about with their Instagram is you can pin the top 3 posts that are important for you. So here I'm doing a recording. The middle one is a workshop. And then the third one is me being very happy to hug my mentor because he gave me a free raincoat. So you can pin 3 things about your business. Maybe it's your schedules, your hour of operations. Maybe for the restaurants, it's your menu. So no matter what you post today, tomorrow, the next day, these 3 things, as you can see the little pins here on the top, are always going to be the first thing people see when they come to your Instagram bio. So let's talk about unique newsfeed posts when it comes to Instagram. I found this one super unique, and it says here, this person supports the down community, and so do these people. The thing with Instagram is it has to be visually stimulating. It has to be visual. It has to be, you know, what is it that people can connect with your Instagram account? So it's all about pulling people with visuals. I wanted to put some persuasive. I know a lot of people are into sales, so this is a really good tip that I got from Nancy Harhut. She just wrote an amazing book on persuasion, and these are one of her tips. And for those of you that do real estates, this is going to be really important for you, because the phrase real estate, because you only have a sentence and a half to capture someone's attention when you're creating a caption. So as you can see in this copy, how to get people to want to click more on this little button here. This is a Warby Parker. New online exclusive styles are in. Our latest stainless steel frames are pressed, plated, and ... What else are they? So I thought this was super important to show that one sentence and a half, you have to put the meat of what you have to say in that first, line or two to get people to click and read more of the caption. Because with Instagram, it's all about keyword rich things that you want to be known for that you use in the caption of your post. This is a really good one. Another tip that I got from Nancy Harhut. And let's just pause and think about I magnet words to start incorporating in your copy, which include new, free, secrets, now, introducing, announcing, finally, soon, quick, and easy. Another thing you want to do is maybe incorporate urgency, blank time left too, or maybe a flash sale like you see here, or almost sold out, or just blank left. Another thing that really incorporates urgency in this, as in sales, is aversion, blank things you should never do. Don't pay an extra blank for blank. I personally would add like an authority figure, such as we are an award-winning blank. So in this sponsored ad, as you can see here, it's a visible 25% off when it expires, and it's all within the first sentence. One thing to note is don't forget to add call to actions to your captions. One thing that a lot of people don't utilize is Messenger. I want to highlight that there are 4 different inboxes in your Instagram. So this is super important. I can't tell you how many times I've done an actual workshop in person and online, and I see people say, Valentina, I didn't know I had all these messages from potential clients that have tagged me in stories, or they've tagged me, or messaged me privately. So this is so important. I want to show you a trick here that I don't share with that many people. So there's 4 inboxes. So here is all the different inboxes, and I'm covering people's names out of privacy. But there's request. Requests are people that have sent you a message, but you don't follow them. They don't follow you. General. So a lot of these people also show up in general. Primary, and then all your contacts you message frequently also show up in all. This is a message between me and my sister-in-law. If you really want to personalize messages, and again, for the ladies in the room, this depends if you're wearing makeup or you feel confident without makeup here, but I sometimes surprise people on my direct messages when they send me messages, and I create audio so they hear me with my Miami accent. And sometimes when I'm feeling confident or I have makeup on, I do a video and I record a message. And for the people in UK, so here I am in Tennessee, I recorded a wonderful video for a friend of mine that's in the UK, and she wasn't anticipating seeing my face without makeup that day, but it was interesting for her to see me, and we really created a fuzzy moment, as in, I really humanized my marketing by showing my face and answering that question versus just texting her a reply. Speaking of replies, in this little plus thing, you can also do quick replies. So for those of you that has, FAQs, frequently asked questions, this say someone's like, what are your hours? What's your website? What is the cost of something? You can create these saved replies. So if someone messages you, they get these replies that are these frequently asked questions that people usually ask you. So this is a neat trick that you can do. And again, you go to the little plus symbol here, and you can add all this information right there with a messenger. carousel posts. So this is according to Hootsuite. Hootsuite's own social media team finds that the average carousel posts get 1.4 times more reach and 3.1 more engagement than regular posts on Instagram. So let me tell you a little bit more about carousel posts. And I got this from Hootsuite. An Instagram carousel is a post with multiple posts of videos, photos that can be viewed by swiping or clicking left. Up to 10 images or videos can be added and shared as a single post on the feed. Just like any other Instagram post, you can include caption, geotag, tag products, and people can comment and like and share your carousel post like any other post. So this is an example from Hootsuite of what it looks like. So here you can see down here these little dots, it just kind of prompts you, or in these little arrow here, that you can swipe and see more information. And I love what Hootsuite did here with the different color and text to make people want to not just see the visual, but read what it has to say here, compel people to read more on the caption. Again, the key word right here is making sure that people read the caption, and you put keyword rich things that you want to be known for in the caption itself. So let's talk about lives, stories, hashtags, and location, and increasing organic reach, as in, maybe you don't have to pay. You just have to do some of these little homework assignments that I'm going to show you. Lives. So can I confess something? I still get nervous when I go live, considering that 80% of Instagram users say they'd rather watch a live video than read a post from our brand. It's worthwhile finding ways like this that can make it more engaging. So when it comes to live, I read a really good article from AdExpress. So thinking about how we can add comments, how we can, trim these videos once we've shared them. Saving these videos and maybe posting, teasers to products, things that you're about to come up with, product launches, promos, or sales. But the secret for me is having a script. So right now I'm reading off of a script here, and it's important to have little bullet points, things that you want to cover during your live. One thing a lot of people don't do, this is a big deal. People don't post ahead of time that they're going to go live. And schedule it in advance saying, hey, we're going to go live, in 2 weeks. Or in my case, I know I'm going to go live in 2 weeks from now, because that's when I get my hair colored and I go to the salon. That's the most confident I feel is when I leave the salon. So when you go live, it shows up on the news feed, where up here in the circle area is where people are going live when stories are posted. So when someone goes live, it gives prominence to that person, and it pushes it closer to where your profile is, and it tells people that you are live. So when you go live, like I said, it shows up there. And one thing that a lot of people don't think about when they actually have the courage to go live, because it does take courage to go live, is having a hype girl or an assistant, an employee, someone that works under you, because they can help you manage the waves, the people that are waving in and answering comments like what we have with Anna and Michelle here, that are filtering through your comments and putting stuff in the Q&A. So when you go live, a lot of people don't know that when you go live, all these comments and reactions, you can't see it. So having that person beside you to take screenshots is very helpful, because maybe those questions can become future blog posts. Maybe that's something that you haven't been posting about that people need to know more about. Maybe it's a product or service that you have. So it's imperative to have a person there, employer, or side person, to help you manage these lives. Stories. Okay, I need to know how many of you all are on stories, how many people use stories. And again, I want to remind you, currently, I think what I read here was almost 800 million people use stories every single day. So I use stories to really tell my folks, behind the scenes, hey, this is what I'm doing right now. This is what is going on in my life. A lot of people tune into stories. I can tell you half the people that I know, they look at stories and they never like or react or comment to anything that I post on my news feed. So how do you activate stories? You open by swiping to the side, or you can just click on the little plus symbol when you open up Instagram on the top left-hand side, where your face or logo appears. So you swipe. And one of my favorite features, and I did this actually, as a matter of fact, yesterday's. I do a video. I record a video of myself in the parking lot of my mastermind. I usually have 15 minutes and I get there 15 minutes early, and I record a video saying, hey, this is me. This is what I'm doing. This is what I learned. This is what I'm dealing with a client or something that's coming up or an event. I always show myself every week, because if I don't show myself and feature myself, my competitor will. And if they're going to buy from them and not purchase from me. So I have to push myself as a small business owner to always make sure that I show myself at least once a week with these videos, and people tune in. They do that. So when you swipe stories, you activate all these features. And right here, the hands-free button, I record a video and it touches it and it starts recording it. And then up there where you see a little peeling sticker, I activate these stickers. We're going to talk about stickers in a second here. When you open up stickers, you can add things like your location. And if you're like me, that you work, in various places, you can tag the neighboring cities and towns, and it pushes your content to a radius of people in that area. And this is a really good quote, again, for the multitaskers that are answering emails and listening to this in the background. According to Sprout Social, posts with geotags get up to 79% more engagement. So like I said, adding the location, today I went to a ribbon cutting, so I added the location of the downtown city that I was in at the moment. Another thing I want to show you, there's a whole bunch of buttons. You can mention someone, as in you tag them. You can add questions. You can add GIF or GIFs, however you want to pronounce it, poll questions. One thing I really want to know is the link button. Back in the day, you had to have 10,000 followers to enable a feature where people can go from your stories straight to your website, or, pay on Facebook for advertisements. Now that sticker is available. So you can tell people, hey, like, for example, this event that I'm doing now with you, I had a link and I directed people right there so they can immediately register to this event. So it's so important to think about all these stickers and being consistent. I know someone's going to ask me in the Q&A, so I might as well just address this. I always have one story active in the 24-hour period. I don't post every day on Instagram. I probably post twice a week at most, but I always have a story available. I always have something out there that is active for 24 hours, because like I said, a lot of people that follow me only look at my stories, and I can see that. So, right, speaking of which, see, I already know how to do, I'm already jumping ahead of myself. When you add the sticker, the location sticker, for example, I live in Tennessee. I mentioned that earlier. I push that story to a radius of people, and this person, it says one viewer, someone that does not follow me, happens to see that post because I added the location. So it pushes that post, that story that's going to disappear in 24 hours to that person. And, everyone's moving to new cities. So maybe someone that just moved here to this area has their GPS on, and they somehow see my story because of that situation. So I just wanted to show you how important, if you are a brick and mortar, as in if you have a physical store, this is so imperative for you. So with each story, for those of you that love numbers, the data people, you can actually see with each story how many people have seen it, and then the reactions to it. So you can do this with a personal account, but with the business account, you can see not only the eyeballs, and these are the people that push me to keep having stories because they come back every day to tune into what I'm doing. But if you click on the little bar graph on the side of the number, it tells you what each means. So how many people, exited, how many people went to the next story, how many people forwarded. As a marketer, as a small business owner, I have to make sure that whatever I'm posting has people coming back, not exiting. And I don't like looking at this number. I'm going to be very vulnerable because it gives me a complexity problem. I don't want to know how many people have left my story. So what do these numbers mean? So if you click on the little button on the side, it tells you what reach, impressions, follows, back, forward, next story, and exited mean in your stories. Oh, this is super fancy. Okay, you want to get really fancy? I'm going to talk about the MVPs. Who are your top clients? Who are your top customers? Maybe you want to show a behind the scenes thing or a promotion or a special. These are the people that come back, or maybe it might be a side hustle. So you don't want anyone to know that you do this. So you can post an exclusive story only to these close friends. So people that you put in this list, and it's called close friends, a default name, but it's just people that you only want those people. You have to manually add them to your story sequence. So you go in the little 3 lines up here, and then you click on close friends and you have to manually add them. Again, these are exclusive stories only to people that you manually add to them. And this is like behind the scenes, new products, etc. to your VIPs. And you can educate them. You can tell them, hey, and for example, I have a side hustle. So I post that not to where my face is to my general audience, but this one that set has the little green circle. So it's going to go only to these people. And then when it does post, it shows up as a green circle versus the raspberry hot pink circle that you normally see in your Instagram. So again, let me just go back because I want to make sure people see this. So you go to your profile, you click on the 3 lines on the top that look like a sandwich icon, and you can post exclusive stories only to these like friends of yours or someone that you want to, like your MVPs or maybe a side hustle that you're launching that you don't want anyone to know about. You go there, and then you when you upload it, you click on the little green circle at the bottom, and then it shows up as a green circle. But make sure you tell your people, hey, whenever I do this green circle thing, I'm only posting it to special people like you that could see it and they feel special. So analytics. Who looks at their analytics? I want to know in the chat here, who takes the time to really process, see, oh, I see the numbers going up. Yes, thank you. Tell me what you do. What do you look for specifically when it comes to your analytics? How often do you see it? So I'm going to show you how I access analytics. I go to my professional dashboard. Again, whatever I mentioned this before, I have my Instagram connected to a Facebook business page, and that's how I'm able to see all these features. You go to professional dashboard, or you click on the little 3 lines, like the little sandwich icon that I call, and I can see how many people have seen my content. And it's 3 parts. Let's talk about this very slowly. You go to insights, or you go to professional dashboard. So either here or you go to that button, and then you can see how many people have reached in the past 30 days, in the past 2 years. You can change it up here, what you want your insights to be. You go to accounts reached, accounts engaged, total followers. And then when you click on the content, you can see what content that you posted in the last 30 days or last year or the last 7 days, depending on what you put up here, reaches those individuals. So it's funny that I keep telling people, and I see this, I've been doing this for 11 years. People say, I don't want to post my picture, Valentina. I don't want to post about myself. I don't want to do a video about myself. And if I look here, the thing that got the most traction was pictures of me. Pictures of me. As much as I don't like doing it, again, if I don't do it, people are going to remember my competitor that posts their pictures. So you can go with posts and see what is the stuff that got the most traction. Pictures of me with puppies, pictures of me with pets, when I was doing a local dance competition. You can go to your stories and see what story got the most traction. So when you go to your analytics, you can dissect it to the cities. So where I live in Tennessee, I got a lot of people from the Johnson City area. How many people are seeing my content that are followers versus non-followers? So that might be the hashtags. It might be something that I'm doing that's getting all these new people that are not following, seeing my content. What is getting the most traction? Reels, posts, stories? What post? And this is based on reach. There's reach, there's engagement. You can see what you've done that got profile visits, how many people went to your website based on what you're posting. So that's super important here. Followers. So the previous one was reach. You go click on the little drop down arrow and you can go to followers. And again, you can see what followers, where they're coming from, what the age range is. I'm going to get a question. I know that if I look at the Q&A part, it's going to, what is my Instagram audience? It's different for everyone. When you go to the age range, my people, you can see here, 35 to 44. I do have the millennials, I have Gen Xers, and I have some boomers. So it varies on everyone. And people are like, maybe I shouldn't be investing on Instagram because I'm trying to attract X audience. Well, you can see that it varies depending on what your account is specific to. You can see the gender, male, female, the times of day, the days of the week that people are most active based off of your followers. Now, the next one is engagement. So remember, we went to reach. Up here, you can see always are screenshots of my reach. Up here is followers, what my followers look like. Engagement. So who's engaging with my content? So people in, again, this where I live, how many people are reacting to it? The likes, the comments, what post is getting the most engagement, as in people liking, commenting, and sharing. So this is so important because it shows me I need to keep posting my face or stats or talking about the weather and how crazy it is. Hashtags. Okay. Give me a second here to ask a question. Hashtags. What are you doing? What is your process? What are you using? What are the hashtag strategy that you have? And again, this is a learning environment. We're all here to help each other. And I'm just facilitating the conversation. What do you use for hashtags? How many do you use? Where do you put your hashtags? I am dying to know what you think about hashtags. So everyone's going to ask me this, so I'm going to just go through it right now. You can use up to 30 hashtags per post. And this stat is super important here. When you use at least one hashtag, you get 70% more likes and 392% more comments than those without hashtags. Again, I'm going to repeat myself for the multitasker that has this playing in the background. If you use at least one hashtag, you get 70% more likes and 392% more comments than those without hashtags. So people are like, well, how many hashtags should I use? So you can use up to 30 hashtags. And again, with the strategies, try not to use the ones that have over 1 million posts, keywords associated with your industry, the town that you live in or reside in. I try to use that variation. I'm always using where I reside in because I like to work locally and promote my company locally. I wanted to use the Nasdaq Entrepreneurial Center. So this is how you search the hashtag situation and everything. So you go to the little magnifying glass icon. So go to the little housey, I call it the housey, but go to the house, your home screen on Instagram. That's where the little house icon appears. Next to the house icon is the magnifying glass. When you go to the magnifying glass, type the name of your business. This is dedicated to my brick and mortar people. So if you have a brick and mortar, if you have a store, click the name of the business there. So when you click on that, now the next thing you want to do is see all results. And then you go to tags, or it might be a hashtag symbol, depending on what phone you have. So when you go there, you can click on all the variations. This might be like the city that you reside in. Usually I type in the city and the state. So like, for example, my case is Johnson City, TN. And I type that in and I can see all the multiple variations. I want you guys to do this exercise. Type in the city and the state that you're in and see all the different variations of things that you can do with that. I usually spend 5 minutes to 10 minutes a day, reacting to the hashtags. So back to the places here. If you have a brick and mortar, this is dedicated to you. And I'm looking at Anna and Michelle here. So Anna and Michelle, specifically, when you type in your brick and mortar, so you go to the magnifying glass, you type in the name, you click see all results at the bottom, and then you go to places. When you do that, you can see all the people that have checked in to the location, and it's going to show you top and recent. What you want to do is you want to start engaging with the people that have checked into your location. So you might say, thank you for coming. We appreciate you visiting us. And it might be something from like 3 years ago, but still you want to take the time to like and engage those people that have checked into your business. Another thing that I wanted to talk about, and I'm jumping ahead of myself, but a lot of people don't know this trick. You can pin comments from fans. So I had tagged someone that did a really awesome Enneagram training, and she was the person that presented it. She is a PhD. And I said, we had so much fun gate busting, woohoo. So I pinned it. So what you do is you swipe that specific comment. And if you swipe too hard and too fast, it deletes it. You can swipe it and then a pin icon appears and you could save it to the top. So no matter what someone posts, other than that person, that's the first thing people see. This is really great for FAQs. Again, frequently asked questions. If someone says, hey, what are your hours? Where are you located? How long is this going to be in the menu? What have you? That is the first thing people see, so people can see that comment from that. I follow hashtags. I spend 5 to 10 minutes a day following hashtags that are showing up on my news feed. So this is super funny. I wanted to know. I follow the Enneagram 2 Wing 3. What is your Enneagram number? I always like to see for the small business owners, if you're a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, depending on what number you are. I love doing this, but I'm specifically talking about myself here. So a fun hashtag that I follow is Enneagram 2 Wing 3. And I can see all the things people are posting about with that specific hashtag, people and just all the fun situations. This is an example of how following a hashtag shows up on your news feed. So I follow the Johnson City TN because I live in Johnson City, Tennessee. So I go through this process. I click, I search for all the hashtags right here. I click on it, and then it takes me to a little blue button that says follow. I can follow that specific hashtag, and then it shows up in my newsfeed. And this is a coffee shop, and I don't follow them. Maybe I do by now, but I don't. At the time I wasn't following them. But because they utilize the Johnson City TN hashtag, they show up on my feed. And I want to pause. This is why I really preached a lot on the bio, why the bio has to be so unique, because someone's going to discover you because you use a hashtag, and they're going to make a split-second decision saying, hey, do I want to follow this person or not, or follow them back? So that's why your bio has to be so good, because people are going to discover you with the, adding the location, using the stories, adding the hashtags. This is why it's so important to make sure that bio tells your story, makes you unique about what you do. You can add hashtags on stories. So you can either go to the AA, the little type, and you can add like 3 or 4. Don't make them too small because then they won't be searchable. Or you can use the sticker, again, the little peeling thing on the top here, and then you can add the hashtag sticker. You're only limited to 1 when you use a sticker. But if you go up here to the AA, you can add like 3 or 4. Just, again, don't try to make them too small because they won't be searchable. Another thing that I did that was super big for me was adding the countdown sticker. That adds urgency to people saying, hey, you don't want to miss out, and they get notified when the event is up. So this is super important to make sure people go to your ribbon cutting, your event, your launch, or something that you have going on with your business. Reels. Okay. I am not a Reels fan. I'm going to just say it. I'm going to put it out there. So if I go too fast on the next few slides, it's because I don't use Reels as much as other people do. But I'm going to share with you some quick strategies on Reels. So Reels, this is where they appear on your profile, and this little icon here. So it's the middle one. So you can see all your Reels right there. And Instagram Reels, just to back up a second, are short form vertical videos that can be up to 60 seconds long. Instagram users can record and edit together video and photo clips to set to music and share them to their feed, stories, and the Reels Explore page, just like the little magnifying thing that I was showing you before. And I'm sharing a quote from Laters. And it says, since introducing Reels to our Instagram channel last year, we've seen an engagement grow by 280%. So with this in mind, it's best to create content with an aspect ratio of 9:16 with the size of, and this is super specific. So if you need more information, you can definitely Google this, but it's 1080 pixels by 1920 pixels. And another thing that this article that I'm referencing from later is the most beginner-friendly apps for editing Reels include Splice, InShot, Video Leap, and Beat Leap. So when you do a reel, make sure you're very mindful of the cover photo. You can actually pick out in the whole video what split second you want it to be on your cover. So a lot of people do like the awkward face and then it looks funny on your grid. So when you do reels, like I said, it's in the middle part here. So you can see with the cover photo, you can edit it. This is I did a really quick reel and I was like, let me just show my popcorn ceiling here. But the thing that a lot of people don't do is when they do a reel, they don't write a caption. A lot of people still read captions, or even a caption within the reel saying, hey, read the actual caption under the reel to tell more about that. Because again, you want to feed Instagram as many keywords and as many relevant things that you want to be known for in your caption. So for best results, add on-screen text, captions, voiceovers, audio to your Instagram after you uploaded your edit. And this helps the Reels algorithm to accurately categorize your content. It will also make your video is shown on the relevant audio discovery page. So another thing that people don't think about, Instagram's algorithm deprioritizes content that is visibly recycled from other apps such as TikTok, as well as low quality video content. So it's best to create Reels content in the Instagram rather than TikTok. So that is something. And again, I was referencing a later article. And one thing a lot of people don't realize that when you do Reels or whether you do stories, again, I'm in the story section, but it also can be found in Reels, you can add captions. 85% of video on Facebook is watched without sound. So adding on-screen text and subtitles to your videos is a no-brainer when it comes to reaching more users. Again, this is a source from Reels. The Instagram Reels algorithm favors Reels that have a high engagement, use creative tools like a text filter, camera effects, have vertical dimensions, use music from Instagram's music library or original audio that you create or find on Reels, and think of positive indicators in mind. It's worth creating Reels that are entertaining and fun. They grab people's attention, makes them laugh, or aspiring. It starts a trend or something that you be positive for your Reels. So that's my quick run through on Reels. I'm trying to squeeze as much as I can in these 45 minutes, and I'm almost at the end. And this is my favorite tip, what I'm going to share with you right now. How to be top of mind. You're like, Valentina, this might be too sales pitchy. I want to be more top of mind and less sales pitchy. I read a Forbes article that basically made me super nervous. It said that businesses have a 60 to 70% chance of selling to an existing customer, while the probability of selling to a new prospect is 5 to 20%. So I said to myself, how do I make my current customers happy? Maybe by talking a little bit slower. But what I did is I created these, I got these truffles. They're made by Valentina Chocolates locally where I'm at. And I added my logo onto these truffles. And these are moonshine truffles, TMI. But I gave it to my most outspoken clients. And they posted it on Instagram. And it was like a ripple effect. So what can I do to be top of mind on Instagram? So one thing that I do is I turn on notifications. So I follow a business. And when you follow, you have to follow them first. This is super important. First, you have to follow them. When you follow them, you go on their bio page, there's a little bell icon, and you turn on notifications. So no matter when they post something, you might be like right now in the meeting with someone and it shows up on your home screen. In the height of COVID, I landed an amazing project that lasted for 2 years because I had the notifications turned on for years. I was commenting because it was always showing up on my home phone, my screen. So-and-so has posted, so-and-so has posted, so-and-so has posted. So finally, at the height of COVID, this person reached out to me and she's like, Valentina, your social media is so polished, because I just spent a whole bunch of money on a photographer to make me look dolled up after I left the salon, of course. And she's like, you're always consistent, you're always engaging with us, and so forth and so forth. So for 2 years, I landed this beautiful project that I worked on, and it was all because of this little bell icon. Why is this important? This is important because turn on notifications for your prospects, for your top customers, for neighboring business, for the person down the street from you or the next door down. This is so important. Again, turning on notifications to be top of mind. So when you double tap and like, you're like, oh, she knows that my kid had a baseball game last night, or she congratulated me on my engagement, or small little things. So when you see that person in real life or online, you ask them, how is so and so, because I saw it on your Instagram. And that really is showing that you care about that person. Again, I turn it on for clients, for leads, for prospects, for someone that I want to work with, or a nonprofit that I'm a part of. So I went through this super duper fast. So I'm so looking forward to talking with Anna and Michelle here and looking at the Q&A. And speaking of which, I'm going to be featured in the most amazing marketing book ever. And it's a chapter 18 on Instagram. So if you wanted to see that, it's coming out in June, and there's going to be a Kindle audio version of that. And if you wanted to stay in touch with me, you can scan this QR code. Or if you're more like, I have a question to have to ask you, or maybe you come up with a question and it's not right now, here is my contact information so you can reach out to me personally, privately. So let me stop the share. Hold on, if I can stop the share here. Give me a second. It's not letting me do that. I love technology. There we go here. So let me stop the share and open up my camera here. So let's go through these questions. I appreciate you all have stayed here till the end. I love you all for doing that. So let me go through the Q&A here. So Anna had asked, do you recommend the reels more than the carousels? I love both. It just varies on your audience. I sometimes do carousels and then I do reels. It just varies on what the content is. If I'm going through it, like today's ribbon cutting, I did a story. I didn't even post it in my news feed because I've been posting so much lately this week. So it just varies on what the content is. Is it fun? When I take pictures, I have the live feature on. So when that happens, it records like 3 seconds. So it's cute when I do upload reels because it does like that. Okay, I'm going to take a selfie or, sort of thing. So it's 3 seconds. So it looks awesome like that. So it just depends on what you have. If you have an event going on, maybe you might want to do a carousel post so people can just swipe and see it in detail versus something that's moving and revolving. The next question is from William. Can they repost or add to their stories the videos you may have uploaded in the DM? It could, depends on how you have it set up, if it's mentioned or not. So that's what it is. So they can do that as well. Next question is from Rana. Can we automate posting on different social media? So what I love about Instagram is that you can post on Instagram and it goes to Facebook, or you can use a third party. There's a lot of third party apps where you can post in one place and it goes to all the different social media platforms. So it just varies. I have a lot of time on my hands, apparently. No, I'm just funny. I love posting natively on each of the social media platforms because I might change the pictures. I might add more hashtags on Instagram versus LinkedIn, or just use 2 on Twitter. So I change it up and I post natively on each platform. I might post the same thing all over the place. Like Jerry from Ben and Jerry's came to my town 2 days ago. So I blew it up and posted it everywhere, but I switched it and I didn't post the same thing. I did a reel and then I did pictures on Facebook and I did pictures on LinkedIn. So that's what I did. Ryan says, are you in favor of utilizing trending sounds? If so, what is your strategy for researching sound? Okay, I'm going to be really honest with you, Ryan. I go on my newsfeed, and if my friend has a really cute song, I like to go with like nostalgic 90s music. I use that. But there is a way to see trending songs. And even when you save a song, I click on the song title. When I see it on my friend's post, I click on it and I press save. And then you know what it does, Ryan? It tells me 3.9 million people are using the Billy Idol or whatever, whoever, song. And so it notifies me that song that I have saved. Again, you go to the news feed, you click on your friend's post with the song, you click on the song name, and then you can save it or you can search for it. So that's my strategy. Okay, iPhone, I love anonymous questions. It says here, why should we avoid of hashtags with over 1 million posts? Because those puppies get filtered. So many people are using it. So if someone's searching for them, it just gets lost. It gets lost in the shuffle, buried. So that's why I do. That's why I don't use the big ones. I very rarely use hashtags that have that 1 million people, utilizing it. Let's see here. Sherry saying, which program do you use to schedule your posts? Like I said 2 seconds ago, Sherry, I post natively on each platform. Sometimes I'll post, I haven't done it in a couple of years, Instagram, and it goes to my Facebook business page, but I normally post natively. And again, there's a lot of third-party apps. Just type in third-party apps to schedule my social media posts. So that's what I use. Okay, anonymous attendee, what's the best posting strategy for a fashion business? It's retail. So if it's retail, you have to constantly be posting because, not only something unique like a flamingo walks into your business, but you have unique products that are, you have a lot of stuff that you have to display. You have to show the different body types, the different models. I would have employees post about the clothes that they're wearing, the outfit of the day. So that's what I would do is consistently, you have to post daily or almost daily, but definitely have a story. Definitely use user-generated content. 79% of people make a purchase decision based on what other people are posting. So for example, if I take a picture with this necklace on and the person that the company, I can share the picture with them and then they share it, 79% of people are going to make a purchase decision based on what the company is sharing with the customer, the clothes. So that's something to think about. Zach, I appreciate you tuning in here. Shout out to Zach here. Where do you see Instagram in 3 to 5 years versus TikTok, Lemonade, etc.? Someone had just asked me this question, Zach, and I still think it's going to be a place where people hang out. I think I saw here Instagram is the most downloaded app. Instagram is Gen Z's favorite platform. Americans spend 30 minutes a day on Instagram. Users spend 59 minutes a day on Instagram. So people are still using Instagram. So I think it's still going to be a place where companies are going to spend time, resources utilizing this platform. I'm like flying through these questions here. Let me see here. Someone said it's a very time-consuming thought. All right, I'm gonna just say done to that. Let me see here. Let me answer Kylie's question. Do you do virtual one-on-one coaching for clients outside of the Tri-Cities? Yeah, I do that. I do Zoom consultations. Thank you, Kylie, for that question. And Anna says, if one has different businesses, do you recommend setting up 2 profiles? Anna, let's be honest. Do you have time to manage 2 profiles? I don't have time. I have 1 profile, and that 1 profile is going to be posted into, in the same place. So I talk about my business, I talk about my personal life, but I don't have time to manage 2. If you do have time, definitely do it. If you do that, you just change. When you go on Instagram, there's a drop down arrow so you can switch back and forth between the business and your personal. But again, do you have time to manage 2? I'm going to just leave the ball in your court. Okay, let's see here. Steve says, what is the best pre-opening, pre-venue to seed ground? Okay, I'm going to move on to the next question, Steve, if you don't mind. I'm going to get, there's a question here. Gat Riri says, do you recommend hiring content creators for Instagram? If you've been in business, every day is different. Every day there's something unique. And I personally like doing my own Instagram. I like doing my own social media. It's hard. Like if you have struggled with coming up with content, it's going to be hard for you to delegate that to someone else. That's just my personal opinion when it comes to that is, do you have time to say, okay, I'm going to take these pictures of this ribbon cutting, or I'm going to take a picture of the business today and send it to someone. That's just my little soapbox. I think it's easier if you know the tricks and tips and to do it yourself. If you can just build it into your day, that would be great. So Nandy asked, what works for insurance agents? I think really humanizing what you do. What do you do for the community, Nandy? What do you do that helps out others? What separates your insurance business from others? What humanizes your company? What humanizes what you do? Because there's so many insurance agents, there's so many insurance companies out there. What do you do that separates you? What is it that you do that people didn't even know you're known for, like the flood insurance or the fires or what have you? Make sure you talk about that a lot. I think the strategy is 80-20, 80% fluffy stuff that you do. And then 20% is like, okay, I'm going to educate you on this product or service that I have. So that's my little soapbox here. I think I answered all the questions. Michelle and Anna, what do you think? I flew through that.
Amazing job. Thank you so much. I learned so much myself. I know in the audience, we had a very busy chat full of agreement, and thank you for all of the amazing tips. Before we wrap up, if there was one key tip or one key moment that you wanted to leave with the audience today, what would that be?
Be consistent and really put yourself out there. You know, a lot of people are like, I don't want to show my face. I mentioned this several times. I don't want to put myself out there. But if you don't put yourself out there, your competitor will, and they're going to remember your competitor and not you. So try to find a way to be consistent. Like I said, every Wednesday, I have 15 minutes before my mastermind meeting. So I always record a really awkward video in the parking lot and post it on my stories. And people come back every Wednesday. I put captions though. So you never know if someone's watching it under their cubicle, watching that video. So I always put captions on my videos, but yeah, that's what my strategy is.
Absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much on behalf of the center and everyone on attendance. We are so grateful for your time today and all of the wonderful information that you shared. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. And to those of you still in the audience, we would love to have you join us for future events. Those links will be in the chat. Feel free to connect with us. We will be sharing a link to this recording, and we look forward to welcoming you all back online soon. Have a great day.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.